Hi, level ones. Thanks for tuning in. This is Zenith Workouts. I'm Rebecca Libby, and today we're doing just a little add-on video or just a short workout that you can do alone, where we're going to focus on our postural muscles, so our upper, mid, even our lower backs, but our organization in that area, trying to get long in our spine and get out of that position that we often find ourselves in as we're going about our daily tasks, whatever we're doing. So I do have the mini ball just for one exercise where I want to roll it on the mat. So you don't need actually a ball, but you do need something that you could roll. If you have a water bottle that's nice and even, like a perfect cylinder, you can roll that. I used a toilet paper roll in another video. Just anything that you have around the house that would just roll, and probably shouldn't be any fatter, or bigger in diameter than the mini ball. So we don't need that right away. And before we come down to the mat, we're just going to do a little bit of mobility in our spine. You don't have to be kneeling. You could be sitting or standing for this. But we're just going to take a nice breath in and reach both arms overhead. And when we're there, I want you to feel like you hold the low ribs back, but you also lift the breastbone, right? So you're not thrusting the breastbone forward by throwing the ribs forward, but you're trying to lengthen in the front, which will also help you grow taller in the back. The arms are overhead. And in that position, I just want you to shrug the shoulders and then drop them down. Shrug the shoulders and drop them down. And just two more like that, where you keep your nice, long, beautiful posture and you mobilize those shoulder blades a little bit. Yeah, good. Last one, shrug the shoulders, drop them back down, and then let the arms float down in front and just interlace the fingers if you wish and press the palms forward, or if that's not comfortable, then just grab a wrist. And I want you to tuck the chin a little bit, lengthen the back of the neck, and then press the arms forward and round the upper back out. So you're getting wide between your shoulder blades. And just take a breath when you're there. Try not to let the shoulders get tense and rise up around the ears, right? But you're more going for width across the upper and mid back. On your next out breath, you can restack. Bring the arms back overhead for one. Good. And now drop the arms down by your sides. And again, either interlace the fingers and reach behind, or grab a wrist and let the arms reach back behind you. If they might just sit at your pelvis, or maybe they can lift a little bit off. And here you're opening across the front of the chest. I want you to think of lifting the face and the throat and the breastbone. You're staying strong in the low back, drawn in with the abdominals, but just opening across the front of the chest there. Good. And then release. Let the arms relax. And we're just going to do a little bit of shoulder rolls. So keep that beautiful tall spine. And as you breathe in, the shoulders are down and relaxed. And as you breathe out, you're going to roll them forward and up and back and down. And we're just going to do 3 in each direction, because you're just about the mobility here, right? A little bit of crunching is okay. If it crunches every time you do it, maybe you need a treatment. Let's reverse the circle. Just for 3 the other way. And you're really trying to stay nice and tall and long in your posture, so that this is not a movement of the head or the upper back. This is movement of the shoulder blades on a nice still spine. Good. Perfect. Good. And then we're going to come on to hands and knees from there. Good. And take a nice breath in. And I want you to really just collapse into your bad position for a second, where you really let the spine sag down between the shoulders and the face is too close to the mat. And then I want you to make sure you have a good foundation in the hands. So the fingers are spread, the thumbs are out to the sides, the elbows they're soft, they're not hyperextended, but they're straight. And then press that chest away from the mat, right? Draw the low ribs back a little bit, lengthen in the neck. Good. And we're going to reach the right arm forward without moving anything else in the body, and lower it down. And the left. Good. So your gaze is down, sort of in front of your fingertips or towards the forward edge of your mat. And I want you to feel that you can tap into the strength around each shoulder as you do this, right? So there's no movement in your waist. And this might seem like an easy exercise, but if you had a hot cup of coffee balanced right between the shoulder blades, would you spill any of it? Hopefully not, right? We're going to keep repeating, and I want you to see if you, when you raise the arm forward, is the shoulder rising up to meet the ear, or can you keep that neck nice and long? So it's not about how high the arm goes, but it's when you reach forward, are you also drawing the shoulder down away from the ear a little bit so that you're long and relaxed in the neck? So just 2 more on each side. Good. And then just take a moment and rock back so that you give your wrists a little break. And we're going to put that together with the leg, as we've done before, but I want your focus to remain on the upper body. Right? So get in your bad position for a minute. And then, look, good position. Right? Lots of distance between chest and mat. I want you to start with the arm. So put the right arm forward. Make sure it's in good formation. Then slide the left leg back. Once you're there, we're going to do a little repeater. Right? So tap the toes and the fingertips and lift for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Release everything down. And then make sure on the left side, start with the arm first. So left arm reaches forward, shoulders down away from the ear, head and neck, little chin tuck, in line with the rest of the spine. Reach the right leg back, lift it up. Good, you're really strong in the right shoulder, right? And then little repeater, drop the toes and the fingertips for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Lower it down. And just a moment to rock the hips back. Circle the wrists a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to weight bear through those wrists. The stronger you are in and around the shoulders, that will help also for the wrists comfort, but also sometimes getting used to it, getting the strength. And it's good for building the bone density, right? So coming down onto your belly now. And we're going to right away, once you get organized in the pelvis, I want you to lift the face just to a very low hover. And then take the arms so that they're at your sides. The forearms nice and relaxed on the mat, wide across the chest, shoulders away from the ears. Try to be broad between your shoulder blades here too. Okay? And you're just at a very low hover. We're going to come higher, but get organized first. Take your breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to draw in with the low belly. And then I want you to lift a little more with the face and the throat and the breastbone, but more I want you to think about getting tall. All right, don't look up and see the world in front of you. That's too much at the neck for the majority of us, right? Your gaze is still down. You're thinking about getting long out of the top of your head. Peel back down. Exhale to come up. Shoulders are down, away from your ears, right? And you're broad between the shoulder blades. Lower down. Really feel the tummy draw in, right? As you get to your highest point to support the low back and counter, sort of match what the back muscles are doing. Good. So in this position here, let me move back a bit. We're going to move one arm and then the other. So take a nice breath in. On your exhale, I want you to slide the right arm forward. And before you pick it up off the mat, I want you to ask yourself, once it gets up there, is the shoulder away from the ear? Are you wide across the collarbone? Then pick up the arm and lower it back down. Slide her back in. Release the upper body if you need a little break. Come back up. And let's do the left. So slide the left arm forward. Before you pick it up though, how's the organization? Is the neck relaxed? Pick it up from the shoulder blade, not from your upper shoulder neck muscles. Lower it down, slide her in, peel down with the upper body if you need, peel it back up. I think we'll peel down anyway, just because it's good for us, good for our postural muscles. Good. You're drawn in the belly. Slide the right arm forward. Before you pick it up, you're checking. Broad collarbone, shoulder away from the ear. Try to keep the shoulder away from the ear as you pick the arm up. Bring it back. You should be feeling this in those upper back, middle back muscles. Lift up again with the upper body. Shoulders broad. Left arm slides forward. Pick up the left arm. Place it down. Draw it back. We're going to do a little repeater this time. So lower the upper body if you need that break. Exhale to stabilize and come back up. So the low belly's really drawn in. The shoulders are down away from the ears. Reach the right arm forward. Before you pick it up, you're checking your form, and then you're going to lift it for 6. So for 6, for 5, for 4. Nothing moves in the spine. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful. Good. Pull that right arm in. Press a little higher in the spine. Lift the face, the throat, the breastbone. Then peel it down. Exhaling to come back up. And we'll do that little repeater on the left. So leave the left arm on the mat as you slide it forward, right? Get in a good position where you have a long neck. The shoulder is down away from the ear. And you're going to pick up that arm from the shoulder blade for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Pull that arm back in. Draw in with the low belly. Press up a little higher through the spine, thinking of lengthening. And release it down. Good. Bring the hands underneath the chest, bend the knees, and just press up to hands and knees again, and just take a moment. You can be slow about it. Give the hips a little time to soften in that low back as you rock back into a little shell stretch. Not to linger there really, but just to lengthen where we were in extension for a bit. Sometimes that can be hard on the spine. Good. Perfect. Okay, we're going to come back onto our bellies. This is the one where we're going to need something to roll, or you're going to need the mini ball. And this is some really nice shoulder mobility. Okay. So for this one, we'll have the legs a little bit wider and turned out, if that's comfortable. If that's sort of your position in your hips, that's often relaxes our low back a little bit. The ball's out in front, or your water bottle, or whatever you're using. The eyes are down, and you're going to lift up the face and the throat just to that low hover, right? And then I'll get you to put the left arm on the ball, and then the right arm on top of that. See if you can keep the elbows straight, right? And you're really drawn in with the abdominals so that that low back is nice and still. And you're going to move the ball by shrugging your shoulders. So you're going to move the ball away from you by shrugging the shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, draw those shoulder blades down your spine. Good. And then gently press into the ball and lift up a little more with the face and the throat and the breastbone, but just what's comfortable. So you might gaze at the ball, but you're not looking way, 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 way up, right? And then lower the body, roll the ball away, shrug the shoulders. Good. Exhale. Roll the ball towards you. Draw in with the low belly as you lift, right? With the face and the throat and the breastbone, and the shoulders are down away from the ear at this point. Good. And we're just going to do 4 more like this. It should feel really nice. Shrug the shoulders as you lower the face. And you roll the ball away, and then roll the ball towards you by drawing those shoulders down your spine, lengthening in the neck, and lifting up gently in the upper body. Right? And this is just what feels good, right? There's no discomfort in the low back. Good. If there is, make this much, much smaller movement, right? Draw the shoulders down your back. Use your own back muscles to lift the weight of the upper body, but then add that little bit of press into the ball if it feels good, right? Lower down, shrug the shoulders. Draw the shoulders down your back. Lift up. Hopefully you're feeling like you get a little bit of lift and length in that spine. Lower and shrug the shoulders. Exhale, draw the shoulders down your spine. Draw in with the low belly. Lift up to a hover with the face and the throat and the breastbone. And we have one more. Lower and shrug the shoulders. Good. Exhale, shoulder blades down the spine. Good. Lift up one more time with the face and the throat and the breastbone. And try to feel broad between the shoulder blades, broad across the chest. Hold for a breath here. Beautiful. Good. And then roll the ball away. And you can leave the ball away for a second. And hopefully you're all warmed up in those back muscles. We've got one more thing to do. Take a nice breath in and come up to a hover. Once again, with the face and the throat. Draw in with the low belly. If you're uncomfortable in the low back and you need a little break, then you could rock back into a shell stretch. Come back to this in 1 second. This one, we're just going to be reaching those arms straight out to the sides. Right? Good. Take a nice breath in, and without letting that the throat or the breastbone like drop to the mat as you lift the arms, okay? I want you to lift, be wide across the chest, wide between the shoulder blades, and just float the arms, and lower the arms, and float the arms, and lower the arms. And we have 6 more. And this, again, you should feel this between the shoulder blades and the mid-back muscles, the upper back too, but just not the top of the shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears, the little chin tuck so the head is in line with the rest of the spine. Hold this one up, and you're going to do little circles with both arms. 4. Nothing else moves, just those arms. Spine stays still. Beautiful. Reverse your circle for 3. Oh, sorry. No, we did 4 each way. For 3, for 2, for 1. Get wider between the tips of your fingertips. Lift a little higher in the breastbone and then melt down to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the forehead and just wiggle the feet together. And before we come up, just bend the knees and just let the feet gently move to the left and the right together, just to roll the pelvis and the belly across the mat. Sometimes it's hard on our lower spine to be laying on our belly or to be in this, gentle extension, but it's often either because we do have, a tendency to move our low back because it's flexible in that way and our upper back is stiff, or sometimes a weakness in the core. So if it's not something that you're comfortable with, you don't ever have to push it into discomfort, but try to find ways to work on it. Even if, sometimes in the live classes, we'll place us a very small cushion under the hip pointers. And sometimes that can give someone enough comfort while they're getting the mobility in their upper back and mid back. It gives the support to the low back in the meantime. So I should have said that at the beginning. Press up from here when you're ready. And just rock back one more time into that lovely shell stretch, that reverse posture. But take your time. Sometimes you need to go slow and let the hips and the back soften there. And then you can either just lower the forehead to the hands, or you can bring the forehead to the mat and wrap the hands around by the feet. Just wherever you feel comfortable there. After that, try to be, wide between the shoulder blades and relaxed in the muscles that you just worked. And then when you're ready, you can roll it up to kneeling or standing or just sitting. And I want you, before you tune off, to feel like you, once again, hold the low ribs back, but lift the breastbone. Someone's got a string on the breastbone. They're lifting it forward and up so that you're long in the upper and mid back. You're open across the chest. You're feeling a little taller, right? Okay, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.